Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 2 of this three-game interleague series. The Astros meeting the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. Last night, the Rangers claimed the opener of the series. They've won 7 straight games at Minute Maid Park. And the Astros overall have lost 7 straight at home, J.D.
Well, Brett Myers, the ace of the Astros staff, opening day starter. Part of that job description is stop losing streaks. He'll get that chance tonight up against Colby Lewis of the Rangers. They hooked up last week in Arlington, and both right-handers pitched very well. Lewis with an outstanding slider. For Myers, his outpitch, that curveball, and he had it working effectively against those Ranger hitters, the right-handers, flailing away at that all night long. 6 innings of solid work by Myers. Punched out 6, walked a couple. Very nice job in that hot ballpark against that lineup.
So as the Astros try to get in the win column tonight against the defending American League champions, it's Jeff Keppinger, one of those dependable hitters, getting ready to go against Colby Lewis and the Rangers in just a moment.
Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. It is more interleague baseball as the Texas Rangers, with a 7-6 interleague record, come in and play the Houston Astros second game of the series. The Astros are running at 3-7 in interleague play. The Astros are on the field and all set to give you the starting lineups and get this game underway. In the booth is Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Thanks, Greg Lucas. Here is Brett Myers facing this Texas Rangers batting order tonight. Ian Kinsler at second base, Andres Blanco the shortstop, Josh Hamilton in center field, Adrian Beltre at third base, Michael Young at first, Nelson Cruz in left field, Mitch Moreland in right, Torey Alba the catcher, Colby Lewis is the Rangers pitcher.
After a abysmal month of May, Brett Myers has turned it around in June. He's 2-2 with a 370 in June. You look at the lines for him, his last 3 starts. Solid work against Atlanta, then that complete game in Dodger Stadium, and then last time out up in Arlington Another solid effort, 6 innings of 2-run baseball. And defensively, it looks like this. It's pretty much like it always looks in the outfield. The change is over at third base tonight as Matt Downs gets a start. Here's Barmas, Capinger, Wallace, Corporon.
Ian Kinsler looks at strike one, a .240 hitter with 9 homers, 28 runs batted in. He ripped a homer last night. Kinsler puts one up in the air and it heads for the seats outside the left field line. And it's an 0-2 count. And in some of the articles after the game last night, Kinsler, who was 1 for 3 in the game, or 2 for 3 rather, with that homer and drove in 3, said that he wanted to move up on the plate a little bit, and that's what he decided to do.
Yeah, he does, and that allows him to pull that ball out away from him. And he's quick inside too, so it does create a bit of a perplexing problem for a pitcher. And the other thing that makes him tough is he's patient. So, the outside corner is no longer that safe of a pitch because he's right up on top of the plate. He can square that one up pretty well. So you want to come in on it, but he's quick in there. And he also is able to work a walk. See, that's how quick he is. Very quick.
He had a triple to right center in the 6th inning, and he thought that really opened things up for him. He thinks if he can hit the ball to the right side of the field more often, then he can be ready to turn on those inside offerings that come.
Look away, react in.
And Kinsler said he would love to hit the ball more to right field, and he would try to do that.
Yeah, right.
And goes to left. And that is a leadoff Ian Kinsler homer to make it 1-0 Rangers. Home run number 10 for Kinsler. That's his 2nd against the Astros this season. It's his 4th leadoff homer this year and a club record 17 for his career.
He hit his home run last night in the 9th inning in his last at bat, and he picks right up where he left off. First at bat, the home run has obviously been a problem for Brett Myers this year. That's the 21st. He has allowed one more than he allowed all of last season. And trying to go down and away with a breaking ball, or it just kind of squirts out of Brett's hand.
Now Andres Blanco, and he taps it third base line. It goes foul. Kosuke Fukudome was the last to hit a leadoff homer against the Astros June 1st off Brett Myers.
He's got a knack at this, Kinsler does. That leadoff home run. He's done it a bunch in his career. Brett has allowed a home run in every start this year except for 2. Opening day in Philadelphia and then May 16th at Atlanta.
Bronson Arroyo also has given up 21 bombs like Myers. And that's out over shortstop into left center field. Michael Bourne goes over to backhand it. Blanco heads for second base. The throw skids in, and there's a double for Blanco. His 3rd of the season. The Rangers come out firing with 2 extra base hits to open the game.
Blanco hitting just a .189, but he doubled last night and had some pretty good swings in the ball game last night. This is a pitch up that he just fights off, but able to get enough on it to push it into the alley in left center. And he runs well and is able to take advantage of that speed.
Josh Hamilton looks at a breaker outside, ball 1.
Right about now you're thinking mulligan, right? Leadoff home run, double, and now you got to face the natural.
That one's in on him, and he goes for it. A 1-1 strike count to Hamilton with a .297 average, 8 homers, 36 driven in. He's hit 3 homers in his last 6 games. He's a .392 career hitter against Houston. It's 1-2 to Hamilton with Beltre on deck. Rangers have a 1.5 game lead in their division. Hamilton's a .419 career hitter at Minute Maid Park. He has a 13-game hitting streak against the Astros. And goes into the Houston dugout.
Myers making quality pitches in this at bat. Got strike 1 with a slider under the hands and a little running fastball away for strike 2. And Hamilton just fought off a pretty good curveball to stay alive.
Hamilton's hitting .438 this year against Houston. And that curve is top foul. Rangers are third in runs scored in the American League with 378. On Washington's club, 42-38 with a game-and-a-half lead over the Angels in the AL West and 3 games in front of Seattle. That's a liner right field. It's hooking, and it is a long foul ball.
And there again, the danger, the problems that Hamilton presents to a hitter. If you were with us last night, you saw him hit a backdoor breaking ball from Jordan Lyles over the wall in left field for a home run in left center. So when a guy can handle the pitch out away from him, an off-speed pitch like that, you're thinking, well, we're going to try to beat him inside with a fastball. But he's lightning quick in there as well. Just no real safe spot to go. I mean, you know, he'll strike out, he'll chase some balls out of the zone, but he covers the plate really well.
Counter there, and Wallace tosses to Myers. 1 out. Blanco takes third. And Beltre comes up. The Rangers, with their 7-game winning streak in this ballpark, have also won 10 of their last 13 at Minute Maid. And they have that game-and-a-half lead we talked about over the Angels. Now it's Beltre. 4-game hitting streak for Beltre. Infielders come in. 56 runs batted in for Beltre, tying him for 4th best in the American League. That's ball one. He is 4 for 18 against Houston pitching this year. Beltre went 1 for 5 last night.
Beltre, a guy who will expand the strike zone. He does not walk much. And with that RBI sitting down there at third base, you know he's going to be willing to go out of the zone to try to drive that run in.
It's 2-1. Carlos Corporon is starting now for the 15th time in the last 18 games. J.R. Tolles has had some adjustments to the padding on his catcher's mask, and he's ready to go again now. After the game last night, the third catcher, Brian Esposito, was returned to Oklahoma City, and right-handed reliever David Carpenter has just arrived here tonight. That's out into right center field for a hit to make it 2-0 Rangers. An RBI single for Beltre. 57 runs batted in for the Ranger third baseman, and a 5-game hitting streak.
Not a bad pitch. And we talked about Beltre's willingness, desire to go out of the strike zone to try to drive that run in. And here's a great example. That's a good pitcher's pitch. Slider off the plate and down, but he just reaches out, and he's a strong man. Just flicks the end of the bat at it and has himself an RBI single.
Michael Young's on a 13-game hitting streak. There's strike one to Michael. He's second in the American League in hits with 101. Hitting .322, 7 homers. He's driven in 53. 7th in the league in runs batted in. Myers gets a call there from Bob Davidson. It's 0-2. Time for a look at our Farmers Insurance Report card. The Rangers' Michael Young is currently on that 13-game hitting streak. The 23rd time in his career he's had a hit streak of 10 or more games. In the dirt to Corporon, it's 1-2. Oh, we saw number 67, David Carpenter, walking out to the Houston bullpen just before the start of this game. First day in the major leagues for him. 25 years old. He had had 19 straight scoreless outings at Oklahoma City when he got the call to head for Houston. It's line. Hunter Pence backing on it in right for the catch. 2 outs.
The Astros, because they were carrying 3 catchers, were a man short in the bullpen. So once JR was good enough, and he's still banged up a little bit, but he could catch if need be. So that freed them up to bring another arm up. Could not bring Fernando Rodriguez up yet, because once he was sent out, he has to spend 10 days down unless there's an injury to a pitcher, and then you could call him up.
Nelson Cruz, the left fielder, comes up. Moving back from ball one. He's at 241 with 18 homers. He's driven in 43. He's at 333 now in his last 10 games. 2-0 to Cruz. Cruz hit a homer off Myers at Texas in his last start last Wednesday.
He's got good power the other way. You can see Myers trying to crowd him with that fastball, keep those hands from getting out extended.
Red Wallace comes over for the foul pop. So does Corporon, but it's out of play. Bounces high. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cruz. Cruz has the 3rd best home run ratio in the American League, averaging a homer every 13.17 at bats. Rangers fan going for that foul ball. The battle for the silver boot going Texas' way so far, 3-1. And a foul tip makes it 2-2. The Astros still have a chance to win the boot. They would have to win tonight and tomorrow night and outscore the Rangers by 9 runs or more combined in the 2 games. In the air, and Cappinger takes care of that one for the 3rd out. It's 2 runs, 3 hits, and a man left for the Rangers. They come out firing with a 2-run first. Out of last night's game. Michael Bourne is the leadoff man in center field. It's Jeff Keppinger at second base. Hunter Pence in right field. Carlos Lee in left. Matt Downs at third base tonight. Brett Wallace at first. Clint Barmas the shortstop, followed by Carlos Corporon the catcher and Brett Myers the pitcher.
31-year-old Colby Lewis for the Rangers tonight, looking to even his record. He's got a 4.44 ERA. He started 15, finished 2. He's managed to keep the walks down. Pretty good strikeout numbers, but he too has been bothered by the home run ball. He's allowed 19 of them. An outfield of Cruz, Hamilton, and Moreland patrols the pasture here tonight. Beltre Blanco, Kinsler Young on the infield. As Elvis Andrus still banged up, and Yorvik Torrealba does the catching.
Michael Bourne gets it going. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. Taking strike 1. 285 is average. 1 homer. Has driven in 26 runs. 353 on base average for Michael. One of his 2 hits last night, a bunt single, his 7th bunt hit of the year.
Because of that, the infielders were pinched in a little bit. Now with 2 strikes, they retreat.
Beltre cuts over, makes the throw, and at first base a good play by Young. Takes care of out number 1. Beltre cut it off before it got to Blanco. Then he had to get his body squared away for the throw.
And you see Beltre conferring with Blanco there. You know, should I have let that one go? Third basemen are taught to get everything they can. especially with a guy like Bourne going down the line. But boy, he ranged a long ways to his left. And then the awkward throw. Nice play by Young to maintain contact with the bag.
Sure was. Beltre leads all Major League third basemen in total chances. Now Jeff Keppinger. Looking at strike one. 325 for Jeff. 2 homers. He's driven in 13.
Colby Lewis, the last time he pitched here, one of the best games of his life. Complete game, 2-hitter.
He has 2 outs already quickly in this one.
Struck out 9 in that ball game and did not allow a walk. 2 hits, 1 run. And he was very good against the Astros last week in Arlington.
That win over Brian Mueller was here 5-1 last June 19th. And then the one you talked about 7 days ago against Myers in Texas. He left with a 2-0 lead after 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball and got a no decision. The Astros won it late 5-3. Hunter Pence, 315, 9 homers, 53 driven in, ranking in the top 10 in average, runs batted in, doubles, other categories. There's strike one to Hunter.
This game plan, get ahead with the fastball and then go to work with the slider curveball combination. Slider probably his best pitch. He showed a little cut fastball too in that start in Arlington.
No balls, 2 strikes from Lewis. He was born in Bakersfield, California, went to Bakersfield College. Supplemental pick by Texas in '99. He was the 38th player drafted. Last year he was 12-13 with a 3.72 ERA. Pence is caught looking on a breaking pitch, and that's a 1-2-3 first for Lewis, and he picks up where he left off last June here at Minute Maid Park with a 2-0 lead after 1.
Weekend right here at Minute Maid Park as the Astros host the Red Sox. 3-game series starting tomorrow. The first 10,000 fans receive an Astros rally towel courtesy of Jack in the Box. Fans can also enjoy the Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Brownie?
Thank you, Greg. Mitch Moreland is the leadoff man here in the second inning. Rangers are up 2-0. Moreland looks at it. It's strike one to the slugging first baseman or right fielder. Right field tonight, 289, 11 homers, 24 driven in. Hit another homer last night, going 2 for 4. That gives him 3 homers in 4 games against Houston this year. Rangers now have homered in 8 consecutive games.
That's what they do. They have a lot of firepower.
.94 long balls for them. That one goes foul. Torrealba and Lewis to follow here in the Rangers' second inning. In the overall series, Rangers have won 36, the Astros 28. Rangers have claimed the boot for 4 straight years and 7 out of 10 in the interleague series. On Washington's club trying to defend its American League title.
Walsh was telling me last night that he felt like winning the boot was probably more important than the World Series.
Really?
Yeah. It's a big thing to him. Yeah. He said as long as we beat the Astros, that's all that matters.
Myers has not beaten the Rangers in 2 career starts.
I think it really helps their in-state recruiting.
Topped, and there's Wallace with the toss. Myers right there for a 3-1 play and 1 out. Vance Worley is starting for the Phillies tonight against John Lackey and Boston. After 4 in Philadelphia, the Phillies lead it 1-0. In order to get Big Papi in the lineup, David Ortiz is playing first base tonight for Terry Francona, with Adrian Gonzalez moving to right field for this game. Red Sox will have a day game tomorrow and then head for Houston. Torrealba, 266 with 3 homers, has driven in 14. Last night he had an RBI double in 4 trips. Hunter Pence thought winning the boot would be something for the Astros to shoot for here, with them going through very tough times. 18 losses in the last 23 games, 4 straight, and the loss column. Something short term to focus on.
Brad Mills would tell you win 1 game, which is win a game. You're going through a patch like this.
A very, very rough stretch. 12 of the last 14 home games have gone in the loss column. And then falling behind early. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last night the Rangers got 3 in the 3rd after the Astros got a first inning run. Texas then went on to a 7-3 win. Both clubs in double figures in hits. That's a swing and a strikeout. Number 1 of the night for Myers.
It's been fairly typical for Myers this year to get touched up a little bit in the 1st inning and then settle in and take the Astros into the 6th inning in a very competitive game, and then ultimately his outing is determined by how he finishes up.
Colby Lewis grounds. Keppinger is there to get him on 1 pitch. That's 5 straight set down by Myers. The Rangers lead it 2-0. Lee, Downs, and Wallace due up. See the Ranger fans, and as they watch this battle for the silver boot, Nolan Ryan joins them. He is watching tonight. Rob Matwick, also used to be with the Astros in the front office, is here from North Texas, and so many more are down to make the trip as these two teams square off again. It's game number 81 for the Astros, marking the halfway point of the season after this one tonight. Carlos Lee with 5 homers, 42 runs batted in, and a .266 average is the leadoff man. Colby Lewis had a 1-2-3 first.
And that's the challenge, the fact that we're just at the halfway point in this season. You know, if things are going south on you and you've been competitive much of the year, then you crater in September, you kind of see light at the end of the tunnel and you go, all right, we gave it a good run, we can regroup and head into next year. But the Astros have half a season left to play, so they gotta stay mentally tough and find a way to win some games.
He puts it in the air, left center field. Cruz is back to the warning track. One out for Lewis on one pitch.
Lewis willing to throw that four-seam fastball over the plate early so he can get some good whacks at it. The danger, of course, is you could give him some early outs too, some quick outs. As a kid, when he first came up, he was a hard thrower. Mid-90s fastball. He had rotator cuff surgery. Now it's all about location and good secondary pitches as opposed to blowing you away with that heater.
Matt Downs is getting the start at third base. With a .280 average, 6 homers, he's driven in 21. Strike one to Downs, who hit the big game-winning homer in the 9th at Texas last week. For the one game the Astros won there, he has 6 homers and only 82 at-bats. Just about the ratio of a Nelson Cruz. And this one hits for left field. Cruz running in front of that wall on the warning track. Handles out number 2.
Not go out of here. Everything hitting that direction.
Yeah, must have been down toward the end of the bat.
Yeah. I think we got this conspiracy going on here. Astros are hitting softer baseballs. Downsy just missed that one. A breaking ball, and yeah, just a little bit off the sweet spot. But excuse me, I don't think this is a one-time deal. I'm not saying he's taking over as the everyday third baseman, but I think Brad Mills is going to try to get him more starts in this season of discovery to find out what can Matt Downs do.
Red Wallace had a pinch RBI single last night. He takes strike one. Well, Downs' numbers are pretty eye-popping. 388 on base average, 598 slugging percentage.
There's no guarantee that's going to translate on an everyday basis, but it certainly has performed well enough where it's worth a shot to give him some chances. Now, you do lose his bat off the bench. He's had some big clutch hits.
Wallace pops it up. Cruz comes in, and he handles all 3 chances in the second inning with the Rangers up 2-0.
top of the third. It's time for the AT&T Trivia Challenge. Now, I could have asked who threw all 5 Texas Rangers no-hitters, but that's too easy because you know Nolan Ryan threw 2 of them. So the question is, who threw the last of the 5? That is our trivia question.
Oh, boy, the last Ranger no-hitter. Let's see. Kenny Rogers threw a perfect game, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It's been 1994.
Wow. Ian Kinsler takes strike 1. He led off the game with a homer. Kenny Rogers, the gambler.
Against the then California Angels.
Did you broadcast that game?
And I did. That was one of the highlights.
That's a strike.
Ooh.
Kinsler says, no, it hit me. And Davidson says, you bunted at it, and it doesn't matter if it hit you if you bunted at it. And that's strike 2. Ron Washington out to join in the argument. Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, tossed Brad Mills out of the game last night for arguing a play at first base. Actually, Jerry Lane tossed him, didn't he?
Yeah, look at Bob, very emphatic with the bunt. And it looked like he was pulling the bat head back. The ball ran in, hit him on the belt buckle.
Yeah,
the Astros got away with one there.
Looks like it.
Well, I say got away with it. He's still in the batter's box.
He might hit a homer.
Yeah.
So in that case, he didn't get away with it.
Then we can argue. Then Millsy come out there and go, by the way, that ball hit him. And he didn't bunt at it.
Retroactive argument. 1 and 2. Yeah, it was Jerry Lane who came over from third base last night, and the initial argument was with the Bob Davidson call, but Lane is the one who ejected Brad Mills. Now 2 and 2 to Kinsler. Kinsler's walked 49 times. That's 6th in the American League. A combination of taking bases on balls and hitting homers. Very good one for a leadoff man.
You really have to look beyond the batting average to get an appreciation of what Kinsler has done for this team.
Has a 359 on base average.
That breaking ball down and away. Trying to, he's pitching him in a little bit with fastballs last at bat. Trying to open up that outside corner.
He cracks this one. Wow. The outfielders are all just standing there. Nobody's moving. Kinsler's second bomb of the night. Number 11.
If you were with us for the pregame show, we showed a number of the home runs that have flown into the Crawford boxes in this series. And there have been some cheapies, and there was nothing cheap about that one. My goodness, did he unload. I think he said something to Bob Davidson as he crossed home plate. Probably like, thanks, good call, Bob. So 3-2 fastball right over the heart of the plate. And Brett, he knows it immediately. Probably knew it when he left his hand that it was headed for trouble. Wow.
Well, Kinsler now has driven in 30, and it's 3-0 Rangers with Blanco batting. Blanco hits a looping liner. That's a hit into right field. The Rangers are getting their swings tonight again. Blanco 2 for 2, and Hamilton is next. 5 hits already for the Rangers with nobody out in the third inning. 2 of them homers by Kinsler, his 8th career multi-home run game.
Let's take a look officially at the trivia question answer. The last no-hitter was Kenny Rogers, a perfect game. The 5 have been Jim Bibby, Bert Blyleven, Nolan Ryan twice, and Rogers.
Hamilton hit a ground ball to Brett Wallace first time up, tossing to Myers covering. This fly ball goes for the left field line, slicing away from Carlos Lee, and it's a foul ball. Rangers now have hit 11 home runs against the Astros. Game number 5 against the 2. Astros have hit 1 home run. Correct?
I was just going to ask Greg about the his call of the Kenny Rogers no-hitter. Did you get nervous? I mean, was it?
I was almost speechless on the final play. Line drive to center. Some were thinking I was letting the crowd and the drama, but frankly, I was pretty much choked up.
You just locked up, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. You just don't get that opportunity.
One and two to Hamilton.
And I was there, but not televising one of Nolan's because he had one that we didn't televise. As a matter of fact, that was the interesting year. That was the year that you remember Darryl Kyle had a no-hitter, and we were not televising the Astros game that night.
True.
Well, the night that Nolan had one, we weren't doing the Rangers game. So we missed them both.
Keppinger gets it to Barmas and then on to Wallace for 4-6-3 double play. Number 67 for the Astros.
Well, got to find a way to keep this game manageable and see if the Astros can get to Colby Lewis, and this will help. Most dangerous hitter in the lineup bounces into a 4-6-3 double play.
Beltre had the RBI single his first time up. And goes foul for strike one to Beltre. He's having an all-star type of year with his runs batted in, 57. Goes down on a knee. He did that last night too. No balls, 2 strikes to Beltre. Giants and Cubs are scoreless. They're in the top of the third at Wrigley with Ryan Dempster on the mound for Chicago. Beltre is down on strikes. That's number 2 for Myers. 1 run, 2 hits. Nobody left. The Rangers have a couple of long balls from Kinsler, and they lead at 3-0.
Houston is brought to you by Whataburger, by your Texas Chevy dealers, and by the motion picture Zookeeper. Also by AT&T.
Rangers with 2 Kinsler homers lead it now 3-0. The Astros come up looking for their first base runner in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rangers have had 10 extra base hits in the series. Clint Barmas, a .224 hitter with 3 homers, 12 runs batted in, steps up first. There's ball 1. Evan Longoria of Tampa Bay hit 2 homers in a game on Sunday. That was the Tampa Bay 14-10 win here over Houston. 1 ball, 1 strike. As JD mentioned, Colby Lewis has mastered more of the secondary pitches than when he first came up. Went to Detroit from Texas, and then he went to Oakland and on to Japan for a couple of years. And the fastball works there for a strike to make it 1-2.
And clearly there's a little deception going on with his delivery too, because this is straight as a string at 90 miles an hour. We've seen him effectively throw this ball by. Hitters get swings and misses or lazy pop-ups.
And then he spins one, and Barma strikes out. That's number 2 for Lewis. Mowing them down efficiently at the outset of this game. Carlos Corporon had his best game as a big leaguer last night, going 3 for 4.
A little slider off the outside corner. Looks like the fastball out of the hand.
Fastball works for strike 1 on Corporon, a 178 hitter with 2 runs batted in.
Colby Lewis has thrown 19 pitches, 17 strikes and 2 balls. Talk about taking control of a ball game.
What a tone the Rangers are setting. 3-0, but it seems more lopsided than that. No balls, 2 strikes. Tim Lincecum is pitching tonight for the Giants at Chicago against Ryan Dempster. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Corporon strikes out. That's strikeout number 3 for Lewis. Lewis has a 3.19 ERA on the road this season in 8 starts, 2 complete games, 1 shutout.
He's got nice mechanics, not a lot of wasted motion. Drives that front shoulder right towards home plate.
Red Myers pops it foul. Michael Young over. No play. Myers a 138 hitter, has 4 hits, 29 at bats. Atlanta beat Seattle today 5-3. Derek Lowe winning. He is 4-6. He beat King Felix. Felix Hernandez the loser. And Craig Kimbrell got his 23rd save.
And Felix gets to be the king.
Not sure.
Who made that call?
We'll have to check into that.
American League hitters?
Probably. They may have voted. Usually it's not a democracy. But, the monarchy rules pretty well when he's on the mound. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Twins beat the Dodgers today at Target Field 1-0. Scott Baker with the shutout win with a save from Matt Capps, his 13th. Ruby De La Rosa lost it. Rolled out the shortstop. That's a perfect 3 innings for Colby Lewis and a 3-0 Ranger lead. Perfect 3 innings for the Rangers starter, Colby Lewis. These fans hoping that Brett Myers can put the clamps on the Rangers here in the 4th inning. Young, Cruz, and Moreland. And the Astros offense can start to turn things around. Michael Young hit a fly ball to right in the 1st inning. Young has been hitting .393 during his 13-game hitting streak. He was American League Player of the Week last week. He hit .481, going 13 for 27. 3 doubles, 4 homers, 9 runs batted in 6 games last week for Michael Young.
You can obviously cannot pitch him one way, but I think if you stay away on him, you're doing him a favor. He goes the other way quite well, unless you're just thinking we're going to, pitch him away, play him away, and try to get him to hit the ball in the air to the right or center fielder.
1-1. Young has played in more games than any other player in the Lone Star Series. This is number 62 for Michael. And he's the all-time RBI leader and hit leader as well in this series. This is the 11th year. 2 balls and a strike. He smacks one to left center field, but it's high enough that Carlos Lee will get back and make the catch. We go to Greg Lucas.
Hey, earlier we mentioned tomorrow, actually Friday's when the Boston series starts, and this is part of it. That is the bobblehead on Sunday. The first 10,000 fans of the 105 game receive a Brett Myers bobblehead courtesy of Dayhill. He's just screaming mad right now. Buy tickets at Astros.com. The Red Sox at Minute Maid Park this weekend.
Now a ground ball, and Clint Barmas to his left throws out Cruz for out number 2. 1 pitch there for Myers. Now the pitching matchups are out. Friday night it's Bud Norris and Tim Wakefield at 7:05. Saturday at 6:05, Jay Happ and Andrew Miller. And then Sunday at 1:05, Jordan Lyles and Josh Beckett. Two outs and Moreland bats. He grounded to first his first time up in the 2nd inning. Beckett got touched up last night. He had the best ERA in the American League before that game. Still pretty darn good. But Cliff Lee was spectacular last night for the Phillies. Now we're wondering who the Phillies closer is.
Yeah, Ryan Madson went on the disabled list. Obviously Brad Lidge has been out all year. Contreras is on the DL. Probably won't slow them down a whole lot.
2 balls and a strike. Well, some people are building that as a World Series preview. Even though the Yankees right now have a better record than Boston by a game and a half. Three balls and a strike to Moreland. Cincinnati won today at Tampa Bay 4-3. Edinson Volquez beating James Shields. Francisco Cordero got save number 16. Moreland takes a 2-out walk. That's the first of the night for Myers. Other happenings. Cliff Lee is 5-0 with a 0.21 ERA this month. Marlins have 3 wins this month. The Giants have 7 straight. Willie Mo Pena has come up from the minors.
Back.
Yeah.
Willie Mo.
2 homers. Adam Dunn 173 with 100 strikeouts.
Somebody's going to pay in the second half.
Yeah.
Can't stay that bad that long. The big man.
Yorvit Torrealba next.
So Jack McKeon has turned that Marlin club around. He's only had 1 win for the first 3 weeks of June.
They're hot.
Yeah, they got 2 wins under Jack.
They're at Oakland later tonight. The Astros will go to Florida on the next road trip. After Sunday's game, they head for Pittsburgh. And then Florida is the second stop on that trip that takes them up to the All-Star break. Well, balls, 2 strikes. And by this weekend, the Astros might be saying farewell to Humberto Quintero as he begins his minor league injury rehab assignment. Barmas charges, gets it to Keppinger for the force play on Moreland. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. It is a lead of 3-0 for Texas. Another one is Ian Kinsler, who's hit homers in his first 2 at bats, leading off the game. He had number 10 in the 3rd inning, leading off that frame. He got his 11th of the season. So Lewis has had the early run support, and Lewis has retired 9 in a row at the outset of this game, bidding for win number 7 of the year. Lewis has had tremendous run support in the games that he has won this year, and he's won 6 of them. So that pattern follows so far, and Michael Bourne tries to reverse it as he leads off the home 4th inning. He grounded to 3rd in the 1st inning. In his 6 wins, Lewis has received an average of 8.40 run support. Ball 1.
It's a headline. He just threw ball 1.
Yeah, it is a headline.
3rd ball he's thrown in the game. Oh my goodness.
It's 2-0 for the first time.
We've got a developing story.
Only 27 pitches. 2 balls, 1 strike to Michael, with Keppinger and Pence to follow in the Houston 4th.
So when he had 9 outs on 25 pitches coming into this inning.
It's 2-2. Since the beginning of last season in interleague games, Lewis is 4-2 with a 2.23 ERA in 7 starts, but this is ridiculous.
That's just a little bit longer than that at bat Ricky Gutierrez had against Bartolo Colon a number of years ago.
Ground ball to first. Michael Young.
23 pitch at bat Goody had off of Colon.
I believe you're right. Well, that was a 5 pitch at bat, and that's the longest for an Astro so far in this game. So Greg may have set the tone for the evening with that trivia question. We'll see as Keppinger comes around for the 2nd time. He grounded to 2nd in the 1st.
Speaking of right-handed strike throwers, where's Ben Sheets these days?
Not sure. I've not heard anything about him all season. Strike to Keppinger. Pitched for Oakland last year, a few starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was re-signed by the A's, but didn't see that he signed with anyone else over the winter either. Texas and Houston playing a 3-0 game. The Rangers got a leadoff homer from Kinsler in the first, another homer in the third from Kinsler, an RBI single from Beltre in the first. And it's 1-2 now for Lewis, who is not allowed a base runner. Rangers starting pitchers have a 2.83 ERA in their last 11 starts. They got a good one last night from C.J. Wilson. Line and caught. Blanco's there for out number 2. Hunter Pence struck out looking in the first. Had a slider from Lewis.
His season ended last year, Ben Sheets, on July 29th. Torn flexor in his right elbow. So I'm guessing he's still trying to work his way back from that, but I don't think he's under contract with anybody.
There's the first hit by an Astro. Hunter Pence takes it to right field for hit number 97 of the season. So he's close to a 200 hit pace for the year.
Shows him that slider on the outside part of the plate, and Hunter does a nice job just staying on it and poking it through the hole.
He's aboard. Carlos Lee is at the plate. He hit a fly ball to left in the second. Carlos played with the Rangers for a couple of months in the 06 season. He's the only current player on these two rosters who has played for the opposing team in this series. That's foul away. Jason Bourgeois went on the disabled list after the game last night with the quadriceps injury. So he'll have 15 days now at least for healing, and Brian Bogusevic has replaced him on the roster tonight, which gives Brad Mills a left-handed pinch hitter for this game. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
So Lewis working from the stretch for the first time tonight. Sometimes that can be a little unsettling for a pitcher. Can be off the mark for a few pitches.
Foul back. The Astros made another roster move today, on the 40-man roster anyway. They claimed an outfielder, Luis Durango, off waivers from San Diego. And he's been optioned to Oklahoma City. Alberto Arias was transferred to the 60-day disabled list to make room for Durango on the roster. Ed Wade said he wasn't quite sure yet what the plans would be for how they were playing Durango in the outfield at Oklahoma City. It was a last-minute waiver claim today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Asking Ed Wade about Jason Castro today. Could he play in September? He said, well, that's the hope. He said, in fact, maybe by late July he would be able to go to Florida and get in some games for the Gulf Coast League team there. That's hit to left field. Cruz back. And in the fourth, it's no runs a hit and a runner stranded. 3-0 Rangers after 4.
Fan of the game. It's Texas Tech night here at Minute Maid Park. Last homestand we were honoring the Aggies. Tonight it's the Red Raiders. And we got some kids here who are getting some scholarship money from the Texas Tech Alumni Association. Introduce yourself, Christy.
I'm Christy White. I'm with the Texas Tech Alumni Association here in Houston.
And how many kids we got here tonight?
We have 4 of them tonight.
And how was the scholarship money decided upon?
It's decided upon by their application, and we look at their need, their academics, and their social and service into the community.
All right, well, these kids have certainly earned it. Let's get their names. Introduce yourself.
Mallory Henderson.
You're with the Alumni Association also? And your name?
Alex Norton.
Melissa Heron. Madeline Livergood.
And they go to high schools all across the city of Houston. They have all earned scholarship money through the Texas Tech Alumni Association. And as such, they are the collective progressive fans of the game. They're smart kids, so they'll figure out some way to divvy up what's in the bag. Congratulations, kids. You're going to love Tech, and good luck in the hub, okay? And Brownie, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Bart. Colby Lewis, the batter. The count is 1-2 in a 3-0 game with the Rangers leading it. Lewis grounded out to second his first time up in the second inning against Brett Myers. 4 of the 5 hits have come from the first 2 Ranger hitters in the order. That's a liner out toward left center field. Michael Bourne back on it, and it will roll all the way to the wall. And pitchers are really hitting well against the Astros on this homestand. Lewis, who was 0 for 6 this season, rips a double.
C.J. Wilson had a triple last night, and Lewis, had he had Wilson's speed, would have had a triple himself, but he was more than happy to cruise in with a 2-base hit there. He's got bigger things on his mind with his work on the mound, but you're playing the other way. You're playing shallow, as you would be for Lewis, and he's able to exploit that by hitting it all the way to the wall, way out there.
4th extra base hit for the Rangers. Ian Kinsler has a pair of home runs. First pitch breaking ball, strike 1. Kinsler joins the company of Evan Longoria, who hit 2 against the Astros in a game over the weekend. Jose Bautista had a 2-home-run game against Houston and Toronto. Brian McCann hit 2 homers in a game in Atlanta, and Lance Berkman hit 2 in a game here for St. Louis this year.
I think Lance still has hit more home runs in this ballpark than anybody this year.
He has. He's hit 5. Matt Downs has 4. He is the Astros leader. Lance has played 6 games here. Kinsler, like Michael Young and like Josh Hamilton, has wonderful career numbers when hitting against the Astros. .356. The 2 homers tonight give him 9 career long balls against Houston pitching.
Of all the startling statistics you could come up with for this year, the fact that Lance has hit more home runs in this ballpark than anybody, that may be number 1.
Yeah. 2-2. Phillies got a run in the home 7th inning. They're still batting and leading the Red Sox 2-1 now. John Lackey in the game for Boston still. Raul Ibanez hit his 9th home run for the Phillies.
Buchholz is hurt, correct?
Yes.
Play Buchholz?
Yeah, he is. He's got a back problem.
We'll miss Lester. That's good.
Yeah. It'll be Tim Wakefield Friday night. Andrew Miller, the lefty formerly with the Marlins in Detroit, Saturday night, and Josh Beckett on Sunday. Beckett's 6-3 with a 2.20 ERA, so the entire city of Spring will probably be here to watch him. That's cranked to right center field. Michael Bourne is calling. That's 1 out.
Fastball didn't look all that much different from the one he banged out of here last time. He's a little late on this one. Push that fly ball to right center.
Now there will be a conference. Corporon out to talk it over. Blanco will be the batter. He's 2 for 2. Double to left center and a single to right. Jay Happ had a simulated game today out on the mound throwing to Astros hitters. And it was his suggestion, Doug Brocale said, to do that, to work on some mechanics.
Yeah, you get better feedback when you're throwing to hitters than you do when you're just throwing in the bullpen. You see how hitters react to your stuff. Back in the day, and before my day, I'm talking way back, it's fairly common for pitchers to throw live batting practice between starts.
Two. Way back in there, they used to pitch in relief between starts many years ago.
That's when relief pitching, it wasn't the specialized field that it is today, and it was just your starters were the best pitchers on your team, and then your relievers were your extra guys. And if you could, if one of your starters was fresh enough to pitch in relief, you'd rather use him.
Strikeout number 3.
Now the game has evolved to the point where you've got guys that come up through the ranks and they're just exclusively relievers, like from college on, which was never the case.
Doug Brocail comes out. Hamilton will be the batter. He's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball on the ground both times. First base open and 2 outs in the inning. Beltre on deck.
All right, that's the rub. You know, if you walk Hamilton, then you got to deal with Beltre. It's not as tough an out as Hamilton, but certainly a dangerous bat.
Hamilton came into the game 2 for 3 against Myers, and tonight 0 for 2. He rips that one foul for strike 1.
Well, we saw a lot of breaking balls last at bat. That's the first 2 at bats, as a matter of fact. Sliders in, and then the breaking ball, trying to keep it down around the knees. Been hitting on top of that curve ball.
That one's foul.
Been doing a whole lot of that.
Hamilton's hitting .378 in night games this year. .113 in day games. 6 hits and 53 at bats. No homers for him in day games. He just has all kinds of problems seeing the baseball in a day game. And he attributes that to having blue eyes. 1 and 2. No day game in this series, to the Astros' chagrin.
Yeah, it got so bad he wore some of those tinted contacts the other day and went 0 for 4. With 4 punch outs. So those didn't work.
That's weird.
Let's get some of those Jeff Kent shooting goggles and wear those.
That's right. Well, let's see. Sunday afternoon. No, they have a night game Sunday, so no afternoon games all week for Josh Hamilton and the Rangers. They're home against Florida Sunday night. That's an advantage for Josh because the Rangers don't play Sunday afternoon games most of the time, but they did last Sunday, and they also played a Saturday afternoon game, and he had a rough time. I think he sat out the Sunday game and went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts Saturday. Hits this one, and there's the glove job by Wallace. On over to Myers. Leadoff double by Lewis, but no runs a hit. Lewis is stranded, and it's still 3-0 Texas. Yeah, 4th of July day game. To this 3-run lead. Beltre with an RBI single as well in the Rangers 2-run first. And the pitching of Colby Lewis has stood up quite well with the early run support. He's allowed just 1 base runner through 4. A 2-out single to right by Hunter Pence in the 4th inning. It'll be Downs, Wallace, and Barmas coming up in the home 5th. St. Louis Cardinals released their former All-Star closer Ryan Franklin today.
Yeah, he got off to a miserable start, lost the closer's job, and they were never really able to get him pointed in the right direction. I saw a story, another story online today regarding the Cardinals that Adam Wainwright thinks he may be able to contribute before the end of this year. You know, when he got hurt at the Tommy John surgery, the assumption was he was done for the year, but he's thinking he may be able to come back and help out in the bullpen late in the year.
Interesting. Matt Downs hit the ball in the air to left field in the 2nd inning. This is his 14th start of the year, his 8th at third base. Taking strike 1. Rangers have Alexi Ogando struggling in their rotation. He's lost 3 straight starts, but he will get a start Friday at home. After that, one of the articles being written is that he might be given some rest before and after the All-Star break. There's a list of home runs hit at Minute Maid Park. 5 by Berkman, 4 by Downs, and then a list of several with 3.
Power outage, the reason why Matt Downs is going to get some opportunities to play, see if he can be a consistent run producer.
Strikeout for Lewis, number 4.
Carlos Lee, Brett Wallace, Chris Johnson, all enduring long homerless droughts. For CJ, it's been 84 at bats. For Brett, it has been 73 at bats coming into this ball game, and for Carlos, 74 at bats prior to tonight's game without a long one. And those are positions on the field where you expect to get power from: third base, first base, and left field.
Wallace grounds to second. Kinsler is there. Over to Young. 2 outs quickly. We go to Greg Lucas.
Well, let's take a quick update on the game summary. Of course, the Rangers lead it 3-0, and this is the big offensive story. Ian Kinsler with 2 well-struck home runs into the Crawford boxes. That provided 2 of the 3 runs, and then, of course, on the mound, Colby Lewis, until Hunter Pence got this single earlier in the game, had not given up any hits. He has been solid, and the Rangers lead it 3-0.
And it's Clint Barmas who struck out in the 3rd inning, trying to start a 2-out rally. Carlos Corporan on deck. 6 hits for the Rangers, 1 for the Astros. No errors in the game tonight. Strike to Barmas. Clint had a pair of doubles in last night's game. He's had back-to-back multi-hit games. It for an 0-2 count.
Picking up a little velocity too. That one clocked at 92 miles an hour. For the most part, he's been sitting 88 to 90.
Scott Feldman could be back from an injury. He's working in the minor leagues. He could be rejoining that Ranger pitching staff soon. T.R. Sullivan writes in MLB.com that the Rangers are one of the teams that have inquired about the Padres closer Heath Bell. And General Manager John Daniels calls the search for bullpen help the Rangers' first focus.
Apparently the Padres are, at least from what I read earlier today, being pretty aggressive, letting people know that they're ready to sell. Maybe even Mike Adams are willing to shed some of those arms in the bullpen for prospects.
Fly ball goes to shallow right field. Moreland coming in. Kinsler in the basket for the 3rd out. And after 5, it's Rangers 3, Astros nothing.
Picture friends with benefits. By Jack in the Box and by your local Texas Ford dealers.
Not even nighttime yet, and this game is already finished with 5 innings and a 3-0 Ranger lead. Adrian Beltre steps up to open the 6th inning. He had the RBI single in the first, then he struck out. And Brett Myers delivers strike 1 to him. Colby Lewis has thrown 48 pitches through 5. Only 7 have been balls.
That is absurd.
It really is. In the air, and Wallace comes over. Corcoran also checking it out. Wallace, 1 out. Michael Young has hit the ball in the air both times to right field and to left.
Brett Myers doing what he typically does, and we talk a lot in the past about Brett doing a little boxing as a youngster, and he's kind of a lot like a fighter who, takes one on the chin in that first round. He's a little wobbly, but then he gets his legs under him and he hangs in there and stays in the fight.
Fouled away, there's strike 1.
He's got a lot of Carmen Basilio in him.
Carmen Basilio.
Little George Chevallo.
George took a beating, didn't he?
Yeah, George would have given up 5 in the first.
Yeah, he got pounded. Strike 2, and it snowballs 2 strikes. A.J. Burnett and the Yankees have the lead over Milwaukee and Sean Markham. 5-2 after 6 at Yankee Stadium. Russell Martin hit his 10th homer with 2 men on. Jorge Posada, number 9. Slow bouncer charge. Barmas got a good break on it. And that turned into out number 2. He came a long way for that. He was almost as if shot out of a cannon.
Because he anticipates. He sees where the pitch is. He sees the swing. And he gets on the move. Rarely do we see Clint Barmas' first move. Normally you watch the pitch and you look up and he's moving. He's heading towards the ball.
Good point.
Doesn't get caught flat-footed.
Cruz with a drive to left, and back there in the recess is the catch by Carlos Lee for a 6-pitch 6th inning for Myers and a 3-0 Texas lead.
The Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history, and this took place in 1978. Just called up from the minors, catcher Louis Pujols, because of flooding, arrives to the Dome via helicopter, and he catches Floyd Bannister's 4-hit shutout of the Reds. Houston wins 5-0. What a debut for Louis Pujols.
No way. I've never heard that story before.
That's amazing.
Wow.
There's another twist to it. Carlos Corporon leads it off in the home 6th inning.
There's more?
Yeah, there's more.
What else happened?
There's ball 1. Corporon struck out in the 3rd. Ed Wade was telling a little bit more on that story when he was on the field. He was in the Astros publicity department at that time. But he had made a trip to Los Angeles and was doing some work. One of the Astros scouts out in the Los Angeles community, and decided to buy a shirt. And he bought a shirt for $1.50. Can't remember what was on the back of that shirt, but he said when Louis Pujols arrived that night via helicopter, Pujols was wearing the exact same shirt he had bought for $1.50 in Los Angeles.
What are the odds of that?
Pretty long. 2 balls and strike.
That's big time. That's going big league right there, and you get the helicopter fly-in for your major league debut.
Well, there's a lot of flooding, he said. That's about the only way they could have gotten him from the airport to the dome. Fly ball behind second base.
Most guys just take a cab. Not Louis.
Blanco takes care of out number 1. Now it's Brett Myers. Lewis mowing down the Astros, and Myers grounded out on an 0-2 pitch to shortstop in the 3rd inning. The Mets are leading at Detroit. It's 8-6 after 6. Tigers just got 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Mets have worked hard to climb over 500 by a game. Detroit's 43-37. Strike 1 on a sharp breaking ball. The Tigers currently 1 game in front of Cleveland in the AL Central.
See, our old buddy Adam Everett was designated for assignment by the Indians and apparently is contemplating retirement. It's been a nice run. About 10 years in the league.
What a smooth feeling shortstop he was. He was playing more 3rd this year. Yep. Strikeout number 5.
6 games for the price of 5. That could be yours with the Astros Summer Steel 6-game flex plan. You buy 5 games, you get the 6 free. The plans are available in multiple seating sections throughout the ballpark, starting at just $35. That's a pretty good deal. And we invite you to check it out at Astros.com.
Michael Bourne is grounded to 3rd and grounded to 1st. Both 3rd and 1st basemen are pinched in, and he shoots that one foul for strike 1.
Record for fewest pitches in a complete game in the major leagues is 59, 58, something like that. And Lewis is at that now, so that gives you an idea how efficient. I think was it Babe Adams? I don't know, somebody back in the 30s maybe.
Okay.
I mean, can you be more efficient than this guy's been tonight?
No, we haven't seen in recent years anything like this.
This is Maddox-like, and then some.
1 hit, no walks. Been behind very few hitters. 1-2 to Bourne.
And just combine this with the start he had here last year. And there was a whole bunch of this. It was the same thing, just 3 up, 3 down. It was a complete game 2 hitter with no walks.
That's a smash, and Young went diving for it, but Bourne is on with the 2nd Houston hit of the night. And an 8-game hitting streak for Michael Bourne now.
Michael quietly continues to do his thing, hitting for a high average, leading the league in stolen bases. Outstanding year for Bourne.
Our leaders of the game is brought to you by United, proud to fly the Houston Astros. Michael Bourne has 188 career stolen bases with Houston. He needs 3 more to tie both Bill Doran and Enos Cabell for 7th place on the Astros all-time list. And he's on a club record pace for steals in a single season. The club record set by Gerald Young, 65. Keppinger the batter, and the throw goes over on Bourne.
Enos has the record for the most steals by a guy who's 6'5". He's a big man who could play the speed game.
Yeah, he could.
Hit some line drives for you too.
Enos and Cheo Cruz sitting side by side.
Both real solid guys in the clubhouse. Never played with Enos, but I heard stories that even not afraid to get up in your grill.
That's what he was known for.
He'll let you know what's what.
No, he would do that.
Cheo, his game was more comic relief. That was effective as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Enos was very big on playing the game the way it was supposed to be played, and if a teammate didn't ascribe to that theory, he would quickly take that teammate aside and let him know what he thought of it. Fly ball near the right field line. Moreland comes over into foul ground and on the run. He's there for out number 3. With no runs a hit and a man stranded after 6, it's 3-0 Rangers. Pair of homers from their leadoff man, Ian Kinsler. The Astros have been held to a couple of 2-out singles, one by Hunter Pence in the 4th after the first 11 had been set down by Colby Lewis, and another 2-out single in the 6th that came from Michael Bourne. So for Brett Myers, it's not been easy tonight. He gave up a home run to the first man he faced, Kinsler, and then a double to Blanco, and with 1 out, a single to Beltre, scoring run number 2 behind 2-0 after facing only 4 batters. The 3rd inning homer by Kinsler made it 3-0, but since then Myers has slammed the door on the Rangers. Now Moreland leads it off in the 7th already. Moreland has grounded out and he's walked. It's over the inside corner for strike 1. Only 1 walk for Myers tonight. Myers in his last 2 starts has a 2.40 ERA. It's high and foul outside the right field line. Myers won his very first start of the year at home, beating the Cubs April 12th 11-2. That's his only home win. 1-4 with a 5.56 ERA at Minute Maid Park after being so good here last year. Last year overall he was 14-8 and undefeated at home.
Probably the best year of his career. He had good years in Philadelphia, but he was so consistent all year last year.
Comebacker.
I suspect he's going to pitch pretty well for the rest of the year. He had an ugly May. He was 0-3 with an ERA approaching 7 in May, and he's bounced back to pitch well here in June, and no reason to think he won't pitch well the rest of the way.
He's 10-5 at Minute Maid Park for his career with a 3.18 ERA. That's the 4th best ERA in stadium history for a minimum of 150 innings pitched. Torrealba is 0 for 2.
I think some contending clubs who need a pitcher would make a run at Myers.
Yeah, he's been through the wars. And a lot of times, as the count goes to 1-1, clubs are looking for that reliable innings eater. One and two to Torrealba. Thad Levine, the assistant general manager of the Rangers, is quoted in the MLB.com article as saying right now teams just aren't willing to wave the white flag. So they're having dialogue, but more of a fact-finding situation than any real material discussions right now in trade talks. Two balls, two strikes.
Yeah, the only one I've heard that's actively, and again, it's just a story I read, so I don't know if there's any merit to it or not, is the Padres. Apparently they're being a little more aggressive, willing to get something done sooner rather than later.
Strike three. Torrealba's caught looking. Strikeout number 4. Colby Lewis doubled leading off the 5th inning, and then he was stranded there.
Curveball did not go to its intended spot, but it got the job done. Trying to go outside corner and just hung onto the inside part of the plate. Snaps off a good hard yellow hammer.
Strike to Lewis. On this interleague homestand, the Astros have given up major league hits to 3 different American League pitchers. First major league hits. But Lewis already had a couple when he came into this game tonight. 0-2 to Colby. Swiftly moving game in Chicago as well. Cubs just scored a run off Lincecum to lead 1-0 in the 7th. Backhanded, knocked down, and now down scrambles, fires, and is able to recover and get Lewis. So 1-2-3 7th, and that's 9 straight retired by Myers with the score 3-0 Rangers. Very early to Minute Maid Park. It's only about what, an hour and a half into this game. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's a strategy. You want to work quickly to keep Hamilton hitting in the daylight. You want to give him night at bats.
Well, the crowd is up enjoying the stretch. What, about an hour earlier than the norm? You think?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say a word because
that'll ruin it.
In the 16th inning at 1 a.m. we'll be going. Remember how fast this game was moving along?
Yeah, that's the way it inevitably happens when we start talking about games moving quickly. So none of that discussion, but it is 3-0, and Colby Lewis has thrown 61 pitches in 6 innings. Only 10 of the 61 has been a ball in this game.
Yeah. Didn't throw his 10th ball till there were 2 outs in the 6th inning. And Paul Mulholland with a 91 pitch complete game earlier this year. It's the most efficient so far in 2011. It was against that free swinging Cub lineup.
Hunter Pence got the first hit, became the first Houston base runner after Lewis retired 11 in a row to start. That was a single to right in the 4th. He's 1 for 2.
Normally when you think about a game, a complete game or a real low pitch game, it's a sinker baller. A guy just throws a lot of sinkers and the hitters are just attacking early and beating the ball into the ground. That's not Lewis's game.
Right field corner here from Moreland. Moreland feeling for the wall, and he has room for a 1 pitch out, number 1. Lefty Sergio Escalona and right-hander Wilton Lopez are warming for the Astros.
Yeah, really, it's too late in the ball game to think in terms of working the pitch count and trying to fatigue the starting pitcher when he's at this point in the game. You know, having thrown so few pitches, you kind of throw that strategy out the window. That's more of an early game situation. Try to work the count and wear him out. Now, I think the approach the Astros have is this guy's just pumping the ball over the plate, so we might as well go up there hacking.
Carlos Lee takes a pitch. He's flied to left twice. Matt Downs on deck.
Astros don't walk much anyway.
2-0.
And he was so sharp early, he kind of put them in swing mode. He started throwing strikes early, and they started attacking.
Lopez and Escalona. Slider well disguised, and it's 2-1. 24,472 the paid attendance. White Sox 2, Colorado nothing. Bottom of the 4th at Coors Field. Mark Burley going for the Sox. That's ripped to left field. And they're getting up, and that is run number 1 for the Astros. Carlos Lee with number 6 of the year breaks a long home run drought. First Astro to reach second base, and he takes the tour on RBI number 43 of the year.
It's the 3rd time he's hit the ball in that direction tonight, but this time he hit it with enough authority and pulled it enough to get it out of here. Last time up, he hit it pretty deep into the alley in left center. See Lewis's fastball intended to be down and away, drifted over the middle. And that's the 20th home run that he has allowed this year.
It had been a 76 at bat drought for El Caballo since June 7th when he homered off Jake Westbrook of St. Louis. And now a line shot by Matt Downs, left field corner. And that one goes deep into the corner. Downs, as the ball's played off the wall by Cruz, is in with a stand-up double. Back-to-back extra base hits off Lewis. Double number 9 for Downs.
The Astros with a chance in this ball game because of the good work by Brett Myers, hanging in there after taking that early assault. And now at long last, the Astros finding a little success against Lewis. Carlos hit a fastball. Downs gets a slider. Matt getting a chance to start tonight with an impressive swing of the bat.
Now in this 3-1 game, the potential tying run comes to the plate with 1 out. Brett Wallace represents it. He's 0 for 2.
Let's see if Lewis changes his game a little bit and isn't quite as aggressive.
There's strike 1. Well, one thing that certainly plays into Lewis's hand is that right-handed hitters are hitting 185 against him this season. Left-handers 316. The Astros predominantly a right-handed hitting team, but here's the lefty. Other than Michael Bourne in the order.
2 fastballs out, or 3rd and up a little bit. I get the sense that Brett was maybe looking breaking ball here early in this at bat.
Armas is on deck. First at bat for an Astro with a man in scoring position tonight. Darren Oliver, the lefty, warming up. 1-2 for Lewis, who's gone the distance twice this year. It's Toronto 2, Pittsburgh 1 after 8 in Toronto. Eric Thames hit his first homer. Oliver is tuning up. San Diego beat Kansas City 4-1. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts now for Lewis.
Wallace taking strike 3. Let's take a look at this at bat. Curious as to how Lewis would respond after the extra base hits. And he starts fastball and got the benefit of the doubt on both those first 2 pitches. And try to get him to chase a high fastball. And strike 3, according to pitch tracks, also off that outside edge. So Brett Wallace want to take that video and take that to court and make his case to Bob Davidson.
Strike to Clint Barmas on the slider. He's 0 for 2. Seen that pitch a few times tonight. Tim Stauffer won for San Diego 4-1 over Kansas City. Bruce Chen, the loser. Keith Bell got save number 23. Out into right center field, and that will be in for a hit. Hamilton juggles it, and it's 3-2. An RBI single for Barmas. His 13th run batted in. Kinsler hustled out, but it was just in that landing zone where Barmas picked up the RBI. Big 2-out hit for the Astros.
Yeah, how about that? Just a little something into shallow right center field. 2 outs, Downs on the move with the swing. There was going to be no play on him, regardless of how this was handled by Hamilton. He was coming up like he thought he might have a shot, but there would have been no play.
Now a 1-run lead with Oliver warming up and Maddox at the mound. And Mike, a fine pitching coach, out to talk with Colby Lewis, who was spotted with the early 3-0 lead in the 3rd. Now that's being threatened.
Mike watching Colby Lewis, probably having visions of his brother out there. That's the kind of game Greg Maddox would have worked. At least in terms of the pitch count. Maddox more of a ground ball guy.
Quality work for Lewis. 1-1 is his career record with a 1.78 ERA against Houston. Carlos Corporon has struck out and popped a short. Pitcher Spot due up next, and Brian Bogusevic comes out to the on-deck circle. With the Astros bullpen busy. Corporon rips a line drive into the right field corner. And here's Barmas to third, and Dave Clark is going to stop in there. Relay to the plate is right there, and it's a good call. With 2 outs, Clark wanted to send him, but the ball was handled well by the Rangers on a double by Corporon.
Corporon with 3 hits last night, showing some signs of life in that bat. The ball was hit so sharply, and Moreland was playing deep, so he got on it in a hurry. Would not have been surprised had Dave Clark sent him there with 2 outs. Normally that's the play, but that accurate relay home, it might have been an easy out.
Brian Bogusevic has just rejoined the Astros today from AAA Oklahoma City. He was with them earlier this season and now comes into a big spot in this game. Runners at second and third, hitting .222 with a shot at his first major league RBI. And the lefty Darren Oliver has been warming up. Ron Washington indicating that he will go in that direction. So Bogusevic could very well be burned right here. And Brad Mills may counter with a right-handed hitting pinch hitter. We'll be right back with a score of 3-2 Texas.
at 11, well, 10:59 Central Time. By golly, don't be a minute late.
Forty-year-old lefty Darren Oliver, a former Astro, warms up. He's 1-5. His ERA is 2.48. He's pitched effectively both times to the mound against the Astros this season. And he's really been a mainstay for Ron Washington in the later innings, JD.
Yeah, he and Arthur Rhodes, a couple of veterans, not the right word because beyond veteran, they've been around a good long while, both 40 years of age or older. Rhodes broke in 91, Darren Oliver in 1993. A bunch of games under their belts collectively. And we'll see what Darren Oliver has to offer here with Jason Michaels up there. First base is open. Left-handed hitting Michael Bourne waits on deck.
Darren Oliver, as a note for this interleague series, was the starting pitcher for Texas in the first interleague game ever played. The Giants and the Rangers beat everybody to the punch back in '97, and Oliver was on the mound. He also was the losing pitcher in the first interleague game ever played.
Jason Michaels is 3 for 3 in his career against Oliver. Hitting .211 with 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. First pitch to him is ball 1.
Right-handed hitters hitting .250 plus, and lefties .213 against Oliver.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to J. Mike.
Oliver, it's fastball, curveball, cutter, changeup. The cutter really the key pitch for him that has allowed him to extend his career as long as he has. It's the adjustment he made, I don't know, 5-6 years ago maybe.
Grounded slowly to shortstop, and Blanco throws him out. But the Astros make it a 1-run lead, coming up with 2 runs on 4 hits. Stranding 2, 3-2 Texas through 7.
You by Toshiba, bringing common sense innovation to the laptop. By Sonic, America's driving. It's new, it's better. It's the new Sonic Good. And by your local Texas Ford dealers. Well, the Astros are back in the game thanks to the 7th inning, and it all started with Carlos Lee's 6th home run of the year, then a double by Downs. A Bloop single brought home Downs, 2 runs on the board. Maybe more. Corcoran, as he drives one into the corner, sends runners to second and third with 2 outs. That's as far as the Astros could get, but they're back in the game as we go to the top of the 8th. Ronnie?
Thanks, Greg. And it's Wilton Lopez, 1-4, a 3.18 ERA, 7 holds in the game with the Astros down by 1.
ERA jumped almost a run last time out against Tampa Bay, allowed 4 runs in 2 1/3 innings.
That's in the air to center field off the bat of Ian Kinsler, who's hit 2 homers tonight. But Now he's made 2 outs after the 2 homers. It's 10 straight Rangers set down by Brett Myers, who in 7 innings gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, walking 1, fanning 4, and Lopez. Myers threw 104 pitches.
And Myers on the wrong end of the decision right now. Obviously cannot win this game, but if the Astros win it, he's your player of the game for keeping them in there after getting ambushed early.
Andres Blanco is 2 for 3. And it's strike 1. Colby Lewis threw 74 pitches tonight, working 6 2/3 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 runs, with no walks and 6 strikeouts. .61 of the 74 pitches thrown by Lewis were strikes tonight. 0-2 to Lopez. Lopez worked a hitless inning in Texas last Wednesday night, and the Astros trailed 2-0 in the 7th. Just off the plate.
Hey.
1-2 to Blanco.
Brett Wallace is saying, wait a minute, that was a strike on me.
Yeah.
Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire tonight, has had a pretty generous strike zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Still a 1-0 lead for the Cubs over the Giants in the bottom of the 8th at Wrigley. Tim Lincecum now out of the game for San Francisco. Yankees lead Milwaukee 5-2, bottom of the 8th at Yankee Stadium. 3-2. Milwaukee came into the day with a 2-game lead on St. Louis, 3 on Pittsburgh, 3.5 on Cincinnati.
Ryan Dempster with 8 shutout innings for the Cubs tonight. He's turned his season around after a very bad start.
Got him on strikes. 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 for Houston pitchers tonight. Bourne, Keppinger, and Pence are due up in the Astros 8th.
Slipped that low heater right by him.
Josh Hamilton is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball on the ground all 3 times. In the 3rd inning, he grounded into a double play. Mark Lowe's warming up for the Rangers, a right-hander. Hamilton looks at ball 1. It's even at 1-1. Cleveland down to Arizona 6-2. Carrasco winning, Duke losing.
He was real late on that fastball. All the breaking balls he saw early, I think he got it in his mind that the Astros, regardless of who's on the mound, doesn't want to throw fastballs, and Lopez is crossing him up.
He's pounding away. Justin Upton at his 13th homer for Arizona. Scott Drew, number 5. Stephen Drew, rather. 2-2.
The arm is fresh. 94 miles an hour.
Been off since Sunday. He came in with a 7-5 lead in the 6th inning and drew the loss in that one, giving up 4 runs at 2 1/3 against Tampa Bay. Now 3-2. Phillies beat Boston 2-1 in Philadelphia. Vance Worley going to 3-1 with a win. His ERA is 2.57. John Lackey, the losers, 5-7. Antonio Bastardo got his 3rd save. Raul Ibanez hit the only homer in that game. That was his 9th. So the Yankees have a chance to move 2.5 in front of Boston. They are now in the top of the ninth at Yankee Stadium. New York leading Milwaukee 5-2.
See Lopez staying away from Josh Hamilton. Pretty much been all hard stuff so far.
Michael Bourne shading to left center.
Whoop. Left that one in.
Yeah, he did. Lots of room in right center. St. Louis beat Baltimore 5-1. Carpenter won it over Jakubowski. Colby Rasmus hit his 8th home run. Still 3-2 to Hamilton. Cardinals are now 43-38. Angels beat Washington 1-0.
Nice.
A 1-2-3 8th inning, and Lopez dropped a split on him to strike him out. Now it goes to the bottom of the 8th, and it's 3-2 Texas. The Home Depot showing you Clint Barmas at shortstop on an active night. Good play there to his left. And as he typically does, he can throw on the run. He's really expert at throwing on the move, charging that ball, and getting Michael Young. And he's played a top-notch brand of shortstop for the Astros this year.
Yeah, he's just got good hands and quick feet. He's a good basketball player in high school. I don't think I would have wanted him guarding me. He's just a ball hawk.
Yeah.
He's up in your face.
Michael Bourne leads it off against Darren Oliver, and flares one over shortstop into left field, a leadoff single. Bourne is 2 for 4, and there's the start for the Astros as they trail by 1 in the home 8th.
What a wacky game.
Isn't it, though?
Astros with a couple of scratch singles through 6 innings, and now 5 hits in the span of 7 batters.
Keppinger comes up. He's 0 for 3. Lined out to short in the 4th with a good swing of the bat. Hunter Pence is on deck as the Rangers move into double play depth. Beltre's tight at 3rd. Strike 1 for Oliver. Oliver was drafted by Texas in the 3rd round way back in 1988.
This is a situation where you might be thinking bunt, but Keppinger has been so good against left-handed pitching in his career, you hate to take the bat out of his hands.
Horn draws the throw. Michael, the major league leader in steals with 34.
You know, the whole key is just as long as you can stay out of the double play, because unlikely that Ron Washington is going to let Oliver pitch to Hunter Pence. So once you get a righty out there, then it becomes easier for Michael to steal second base if he's still at first after this confrontation.
Cappinger is hitting .429 against lefties this season. 12 for 28.
He should have started the clock, because I guarantee you this game will take longer from the 7th inning to the end than it did for the first 6 innings.
Yeah, it might. It's certainly slowing down. Foul ball makes it 0-2 to Cappinger. Cappinger is now a .336 career hitter against left-handed pitching. He was the toughest to strike out in the majors last year, and again he's leading. Yeah, with Bob Davidson, be careful taking something that's fairly close. Toronto edged Pittsburgh 2-1 in Toronto. Brandon Morrow squared his record at 4-4 with that win, beating Paul Maholm, was 4-9. Frank Francisco got his 9th save. Maholm, a tough luck 4-9. His ERA is 3.17.
That's why you're letting him swing the bat here.
Horn takes off, and it's a foul ball.
Had that base stolen, but Jeff, obviously with 2 strikes, couldn't afford to take the pitch. He waited on it as long as he could. See, there's the break, and Keppinger just pushes it off the other way. If there's 1 strike, no strikes, he's probably taken that pitch, and Michael's got second base stolen. That's why you like to have that base stealer go early, but such an important run, Michael wanted to make sure he was comfortable with Oliver's move out there.
Horn's going again. Pickoff throw, and Young relays it. There's the tag, and they got him. A caught stealing 1-3-6. Blanco with the tag, and an excellent throw from Michael Young.
Going on first move. You see, taking a modest lead there, just trying to deke Oliver a little bit. Goes on first move, then Young slides inside and makes a perfect throw to Blanco. But what was really interesting about that play is prior to the pitch, when Torrealba called for the throw over. Let's see if we can get a shot of it.
Keppinger to right field. Moreland. 2 outs.
Check out what Torrealba does. Watch what he does with his glove. He's calling for the throw. No, we're going to roll it back here a little bit.
Ron Washington's coming out. That'll give us some time. They want a right-hander to face Hunter Pence.
Watch what he does. He's going to give him the thumb for the throw over. And then he takes his glove and pats it like, I want this pitch down in the dirt. I don't know if he sold Michael on that or not, but that was an interesting little deke, because that's what a catcher does when he wants a pitch down in the dirt. But obviously there was going to be no pitch.
Catchers can be a devious sort.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
3-2 Texas. Back in a moment.
will be the hitter. But baseball fans, Chevy's proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. Brownie?
Now this Mark Lowe, Hunter Pence confrontation, an interesting one. Lowe is 2-1 with a 4.01 ERA. He is from Houston, went to Fort Bend Baptist, and then on to UT Arlington. We were hearing a story tonight that twice he faced Hunter Pence in AA a few years ago. Struck him out on sliders the first time he faced him. Struck him out on fastballs the second time. And last night he struck out Pence in the 8th inning. So now they square off again here in the 8th in a 1-run game. And there's strike one.
This kid's got a nice live arm. 97-mile-an-hour two-seamer right there for strike one. Astros have seen a lot of him in this Lone Star Series this year. A couple appearances in Arlington. He was in last night's ball game as well as tonight.
It's 0-2.
There's that generous outside corner.
.313 from the 7th inning on for Hunter.
Yeah, look how far out he's going here.
And a strikeout ends the Astros 8th inning with no runs a hit, nobody left. Texas 3, Houston 2, moving to the 9th.
On top, we want to remind you to join us coming up after the game. Steve Sparks, who's hanging out right here behind me. Join he and myself as we'll have Astros Live coming your way. We'll hear from Brad Mills, a lot of post-game analysis, all that more coming up immediately following the game. Right now, let's send it back to Bill Brown in the booth, guys.
Thanks, Kevin. It's turned out to be quite a ball game. 3-2 Rangers. They come up here in the 9th inning. 12 straight Rangers have been set down since the Colby Lewis double in the 5th. They got their 3 runs early, 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd. It's Adrian Beltre to lead it off here in the 9th inning. 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in that 2-run first inning. Milton Lopez had a 1-2-3-8.
Really has been a very interesting ball game. The way the Rangers jumped out to that early lead, it looked like Brett Myers might make an early exit, but then he settled in, and it's been the Astros pitching that has been dominant since the 5th.
That went out to shallow center field. Barmas gives way to Bourne. 13 straight Rangers retired by the Astros pitchers in the bottom of the 9th, and Neftali Feliz is warming up. Lee, Downs, and Wallace are scheduled to bat for Brad Mills. And if you'll recall, Downs hit the big home run off Feliz in Texas, a game winner in the 5-3 Houston win last week. Michael Young is 0 for 3. He shoots one foul, right field side. Giants have tied the Cubs with a run in the top of the 9th inning. It's 1-1. Carlos Marmol's in the game, and the Giants are still batting.
The Giants really asserting themselves lately. They've won 7 in a row. To creep back out in front of Arizona, have a 2.5 game lead over the D-backs coming into play tonight. Arizona has already lost.
Downs to his left, fires it. 2 outs. He was working hard on that footwork before he unloaded that throw. Had to go pretty far to his left.
It's an extra step to settle in and then rely on that good strong throwing arm to finish the play.
Nelson Cruz is the batter. He's 0 for 3. Mets lead at Detroit 14-8 in the top of the 8th inning. Miguel Cabrera's hit a pair of home runs to give him 17. Cruz looks at ball 1. Florida has scored 2 in the top of the 1st at Oakland, still batting. And Ramirez hit his 5th homer. It's 1-1. Colorado's tied the White Sox 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Jason Giambi hit his 9th home run. Ty Wigginton, number 13, off Mark Burley.
How about Wiggy?
Pretty good year, isn't it? 2-1.
Careful now. Got to be careful here. You got it's a 1-run ball game. Feliz getting ready to pitch the bottom of the 9th. Do not want to give him any extra cushion to work with. You don't want to get careless with Cruz. He'll get himself out. He's a free swinger. He'll chase a bad ball. But if you make a mistake, he will make you pay.
That's in the air, and Michael Bourne's waiting for it. 15 straight Rangers have been retired since the 5th inning double by Lewis. Now the bottom of the 9th. Texas 3, Houston 2.
By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, the Astros down by a run. The middle of the order coming against the Rangers closer, and to call it all down the stretch, Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thanks, Greg. Nelson Cruz has shifted from left field to right field. David Murphy of Houston has checked in left field. Michael Young coming out of the game. Mitch Moreland moving from right field to first base. And Ron Washington's closer, Neftali Feliz, comes in. Last year he had 40 saves to set a major league rookie record.
And this year he's got 15 saves, but he has failed on 4 occasions. He's pitching to a 3.14 ERA. The walks at times have been a problem. He's allowed 15 of those. That was not the case in that game against the Astros last week, where he gave it up. They just hit him. A couple of doubles, big home run.
And he came back last night to pick up a save, retiring Jason Michaels on a strikeout in a 7-3 game with a couple of men on base.
That game in Arlington, the Astros got him for 4 hits and 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Carlos Lee, who homered in the 7th inning, leads off here in the home 9th. 1 for 3 tonight. And Downs on deck. Then Brett Wallace to up third. And it's strike 1 for Feliz. Mark Lowe struck out the only man he faced, Hunter Pence. Darren Oliver in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. The Rangers have not walked a batter tonight. One to lead.
High percentage of fastballs from Feliz, and if he's able to get that leeway off the plate, they would be silly to throw anything but, because his secondary pitches are not particularly good. He makes a lot of mistakes with them. If you're going to get 6 inches off the outside corner, it might be silly to try to trick somebody with a breaking ball.
Two and two. Here's Carlos in the 7th. Snap was 76 at bat homerless streak dating back to June 7th. That was his 14th career long ball against the Rangers. Just off the plate.
A little slider, yeah. That time Davidson did not give him the benefit of the doubt. His curveball is probably a better pitch. I mean, in that he'll snap off a real dandy every now and then, but he's pretty inconsistent with it.
Way up for ball 4, and a leadoff walk puts Lee at first base for Downs.
Torrealba continues to set up off that outside corner, but Feliz is not a guy who is really known for being able to hit his spots.
Middle infielders come in. Talk about the coverage on a ground ball. Matt Downs doubled in the 7th. He's 1 for 3. Downs hit a pinch hit 2-run homer off Feliz last Wednesday in Arlington.
And again, a situation here where you might think bunt. You're down a run in your own ballpark, but the personnel say otherwise.
Strike 1 with Wallace on deck. Feliz needed only 4 pitches last night.
It'd be tough to get a bunt down against that high fastball anyway, and Downs is a guy you want him swinging the bat.
Oh, 2.
A couple of big swings now. Got to shorten up a little bit. Let's try to hit a line drive somewhere.
One and 2.
That's one of those pitches that if you throw it with no strikes or 1 strike, you're probably going to get the call the way it's gone tonight. But with 2 strikes, you're not going to get the call.
struck him out on high heat. 1 out. Just went up the ladder on Matt Downs. And Brett Wallace is 0 for 3.
Downs likes to hit the fastball, and Feliz just threw it in a spot where he couldn't get to it. In a spot where Shaquille O'Neal couldn't get to it.
Yeah. Ranger bullpen been good tonight, but had allowed 15 earned runs in the previous 15 innings. Wouldn't that be a special swing of the bat for Brett Wallace to get a walk-off right here?
And he too has endured a long homerless stretch.
Clint Barmas on deck. Wallace looked at ball 1. Rangers relievers have 9 wins, 16 losses, a 4.53 ERA, 12 blown saves.
This has got to be unsettling for Ron Washington and Mike Maddox as they watch Feliz work here, because there's really no command with that fastball. He's not coming close to hitting the spot. He's just airmailing it, and I'm sure the fear over there is, boy, if he just throws one down the middle and this kid runs into one, we're going to lose this ball game. Like to have that guy who can throw it 97 miles an hour, but you prefer him to hit it, hit some spots with it. There's a good one there, and there again, there's that wide call. And Wallace is up against it because now he got called struck out looking last time on a fastball off the outside play. He's got to be willing to try to go out and get that ball. It's hard to do, though, when you've been hitting for so long and everything in your nature tells you that's not a strike. I'm not supposed to swing at that.
Yep. Two and two. Wallace leads the Astros in walks with 34. The Astros are next to last in the National League in drawing bases on balls. Walk to Lee was the first of the game by an Astro. Left-handed batters are struggling against Feliz. 175. Yankees beat Milwaukee 5-2. A.J. Burnett going to 8-6. Sean Markham, the loser, is 7-3. Mariano Rivera got his 21st save. Now it's a full count. Dave Clark flashing signs to the hitter. Bobby Meacham looking in from first, talking it over with Carlos.
I think this is a no-go situation.
He's going. Swing and a miss, and the throw is there early. And the tag by Blanco will end the ball game. A strikeout, throw-out double play from 2 to 6. And the Rangers hold off the Astros with a big night from Ian Kinsler. 2 home runs. And Texas has captured the silver boot, going 4-1 against the Astros. There's the swing and a miss. Torrealba with a throw. Blanco the tag on Lee for a 2-6 double play to end it. And the final score is Texas 3 and Houston 2 tonight.